Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about an IT checklist for remote work at an SMB. And in particular, we're going to do a deep dive into securing devices. My name's Isaiah Williams. I'm a program manager here at Microsoft, and presenting with me is
Zahid Saeed, Architect of Center of Excellence.
We wanted to hit through a couple of things and just kind of lay things out for you today. We're going to look at managing devices using Intune. We're going to look at something that's brand new, the Windows 10 Secure Onboarding Hub. And then Zahid is going to take us through an advanced approach to managing devices with looking further into the capabilities of Microsoft Intune. So with that said, let's dive right on into managing devices using Intune. When we think about managing a device, we typically are going to think about only PCs, and the reality is with Microsoft Intune, we can manage mobile devices, which, Android devices, iOS devices. We can manage Mac OS PCs or systems and PCs. So we have a breadth of ability to manage lots of different devices. But we always kind of talk about management and we think about it in the context of, all right, well, I'm managing just a configuration or setting whether our hard drive is encrypted or not. But there's a whole other aspect of managing that data as well. So we can ensure through Intune that corporate data that is sensitive, that shouldn't be copied between applications, is protected. That gives us a great bill of ability to go through and look at a comprehensive solution that is designed to work together. This gives us an integral part of looking at how you will secure your entire ecosystem and not just, the typical, hey, here's my laptop, here's my desktop. Bring in the whole concept of people bringing in tablets and phones to work. Now that we've talked a little bit about Intune, we actually want to introduce something that's a little bit new to some folks. It's the Microsoft Endpoint Management Admin Center. This is the new UI, a new web interface for actually managing anything with respect to Intune and the mobile application management that we'll look at a little later in the presentation today. So we really just kind of want to take a quick tour just a little bit to get it familiar with where a few things are. So under devices, you'll be able to see all the different options for enrolling your devices, creating compliance policies, configuration policies. We'll be able to dive a little deeper into where you can manage applications and take care of things like protection policies, saying that data can't be copied between different applications where it can be and stuff of that nature. And then finally, we have some brand new features in here that give you the ease of management for things around antivirus, disk encryption, and firewall. These are all brand new experiences that can be a little bit overwhelming. So with that, we want to take a second to introduce something that's brand new inside of the Microsoft Admin Center. Now that we've seen how the Microsoft Endpoint Manager portal actually looks and feels, we want to talk about something that's brand new, that's a little bit more simplified approach. So as you're a brand new SMB or a brand new partner to the space, or a customer looking to get started and looking to say, well, where is my foundation? How do I know what settings need to be turned on? How do I know what options to click on? We've actually added a brand new feature to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center called the Windows 10 Secure Onboarding Hub. This hub is designed to give you insight to the top recommended features that should be enabled. Now, all this would translate into Intune configurations on the back end, but it gives you the ability to go through and say, this is what needs to be configured in order to provide that base level of security and protection. And now we'll go take a look at what that is and turn on a few policies and save a few things. So inside the Microsoft Admin Center, we've actually added a brand new section. Under Setup, if you were to click on it, you'll see Sign In and Security. Down here on the bottom right, you should see something that says Secure Your Windows 10 Environment. This is the brand new Windows 10 Secure Onboarding Hub. As we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of complexity and great features inside the Microsoft Endpoint Management Admin Center, but there's a lot of things that may just be overwhelming. We wanted to put together a solution that would help anybody that's new to this environment, new to securing Windows 10 using modern technologies, to come through and say, well, what do I need to turn on? So you can simply click Manage. It gives you the ability to turn on a handful of policies. These policies, again, are things that we've identified as the most common things that are needed to ensure that Windows 10 environments are secure. There's more that needs to be done, but this is a great foundation. So if you're a customer that's looking to say, well, where do I start? If you're a partner that's looking to find, well, what is that foundation that I need to apply for all of my customers? This is a place where I would recommend that you start, and you can come through and say, well, I don't want to have BitLocker enabled, or I do, but I want this timeout to be 30 minutes instead of 6 minutes. So it is configurable. And when you click apply settings, what it does is it's going to go out to the Microsoft endpoint management portal on your behalf, make the API calls to say, let me go get everything configured. So it will get things set up for you securely, quickly, without having to go through and say, well, how do I know where all these different settings are and the different attributes? And then Zahid now is going to take us through, hey, how can we do this at a more in-depth approach and using the full breadth and capabilities of the device management interfaces inside of Microsoft Intune.
Thanks, Isaiah. Now we will talk about two approaches for the device management, right? So if you look here, one is the mobile application management. This is more kind of scenario when you can have bring your own device. And it could be for those like more flexible organizations, like they are not like dealing with very confidential, and there you don't need to enroll the devices, and you can secure only corporate data within the apps. You don't need to manage the whole device. So, and then you will see in the next slide here, in the mobile application management, we have like what we can do here more is like multi-identity awareness, right? So here you target corporate accounts, and we are not talking about personal or unmanaged there. And then still you can look at the OS version, and you can see which you can even dictate which OS version is required, and then you can block the certain. You can look at the device health. You can set up like compliance level. The access requirements are also like PIN. For example, normally it's like 4-digit, but whenever you are managing that app, so we recommend to have 6-digit PIN. And it could be like also it could be biometrics. In the data protections, we can also decide there, okay, what can you, if you want to copy some apps or some confidential information, you should not be able to copy that onto the personal side if it's more corporate information. And you can also do like selective wipe. Selective wipe means that you can do just delete the corporate information from your personal managed devices. And then the next one, which we have here is more talking about, let's give you a live example, and I will demonstrate more into the demo. So here you see like it kind of create like a ring fencing apps, like you decide, okay, I'm going to manage like certain apps only. For example, Exchange Online, or you can have OneDrive or some other apps you feel like these are corporate managed apps, you want to manage them, and there are personal that you are not worried about managing that. So here in the picture, if you see, if I have some information on my personal drive, and on that personal drive, and I would say the personal drive is personal, but if I go to the business drive and there I have some confidential information and I would like to paste it on the personal drive, it should not work. So these are kind of things you can have on bring your own device scenario. And then if we go to the next level here, and there you can also see like OneDrive for business. Just I gave you the example there that you can save things on your business drive, but not on your personal drive. And then we are going next there. I will give you a demo how like this scenario. I will walk you through the tenant, how you can protect that. So here is the Intune, which as I was showing you, and we want to have just managing the apps rather than the entire device. So here, if you look at app protection policies here, and in the app protection policies, now whenever you are having a tenant, either it's a trial or actual tenant, and two policies we have there by default. One is for the iOS policy here, and one other one is for the Android. So let me click on the iOS policy here that you can see. On this here, you can see the apps which you want to manage, just the apps, not the entire device. So if I go and click on the properties here, and you will see here under the app, like specifically what I would love you to look at is here, like save copies of the org data. That when I was talking about how to save, like you cannot save your corp information to the personal, right? So it will help you there, and also let you to save only on the business OneDrive for business there. So, and also you can decide the pins. Like normally it's the 4-digit. You can, I would strongly encourage you to do for the 6-digit pin. So this is all the policy. That the last thing at the end I would like to see, like you have to decide whether you like to apply this policy to all the users, or you want to have certain groups and apply there, or you want to exclude it. So right, if you see here, I have applied it to all the users. So let's go back and just share with you the other one is also with the Android policy here. So you can see the similar way. And if you click on the properties, then you can see again the policy applies on the Android side here. Yeah. So the same thing here you can do, and you can apply. And again, I applied on the user. So let me show you when I was testing it yesterday, all of those both policies. So let me share with you under the devices. So I have Android and iOS. At the same time, I want to take you to the admin center, and there I created a user, my name like Zahid Saeed here, and under that user, so you can look here. This is, by the way, trial tenant which I am leveraging, and I have devices, like 3 devices right now. And if you see here, like it's the Android one which I have, and you can remove company data, right? So when I was talking about removing it, you can remove from here. And also the same, if you go to the iPhone, you can remove the company data there. And the further, like if you look at the OneDrive, so you can see here, this is the OneDrive I was talking about, that how you can leverage it. So all of this you can apply on the users, and it can show you what is managing and what is not managing there. So let me go back to the again here to the Intune interface there, and here you can see the devices back, like what is compliant. The same one of those devices is like on the mobile device management that I will share with you in the next section. But you can look at, for example, the compliance policies, how you want to set it. Let me double click on that. And it will also let you know whether the device is compliant, what OS version they have. All of that stuff is available there. So yeah, that's about the bring your own device scenarios. So let's go to the next approach now. Mobile device management, right? So in the mobile device management, these are the devices there. You can manage the entire device, and you need to enroll that device. Here we can have more like certifications. You can communicate through the certification, through the Intune. The devices can communicate that. And there you can manage the entire device security, and it is done through the Intune admin center. And the next scenario, which I will talk about here, are like certain steps which we have to do. Like, first of all, we have to enroll that device, which we like to manage the entire security. And then we can set up the device compliance policies there. Then we can decide, okay, these are the device which we are managing, or these are the apps which we have to manage. So we can create kind of templates. Let's say if there are 100 users, we can say the HR has one template, the marketing has another one. And based on that, we can apply the templates on the enrolled devices. So when we talk about the enrolling in the next section, in the enrollment, we have bulk enrollment. So if there are 100 or 200, then you can enroll all of them together. Same, you have Windows enrollment, Apple enrollment, and Android enrollment. So it like walks through kind of process where you can see how we can do all of these enrollment one by one. And today I will cover more the Apple enrollment and Android enrollment there in the demo. I will walk you through step-by-step instruction how to do that. So let's talk about the mobile device management, where we have to manage the entire device. So there, as we discussed, there are certain processes. We have to enroll the entire device rather than just the apps that I mentioned. So look here in the enrollment process. So I was able to test 2 devices, one yesterday, one in the morning. And here is the enrollment process look like. For example, if it's the Apple enrollment, and the very simple thing you have to do is, like, I think it took me like 5 minutes, to be honest, the maximum here, like to get it enrolled. So you just have to click on that, agree enrollment process, download the CSR, like the certificate, and then you have to upload it there, like you have to do the push certificate. You do need an Apple ID here. So I leverage my Apple ID, but in the same Apple ID, you have to do it on your iPhone where you are using, because then it will upload the profile there and it will become managed there. So that is like very simple. And here, if you click on that, it's going to give you more step-by-step instruction here. Like what I agree, you apply the Apple ID, you push here. So with this way, you are able to manage the entire device there. So let's go back now to show you a little bit about the Android. So that's another one. I tested simple. You have to go to manage Google Play. And here we are doing the corporate owned, fully managed user devices or corporate owned dedicated devices. So you can manage here the entire device there. So let's go to the devices and have a look what's going on in these devices which we are managing. So for example, let's see here, we have the iOS and iPad, right? So if I click on this one, let me double click here, and you can see the device name. So I give it to like the Alex, the compliance iOS version is there. So you can also look at the the overall the iOS version and device compliance status. Is it compliant or no? So that these are all the possibilities available there. But I go back now into the user. I mean, the Alex is one here, but I also assigned one to the Zahid, right? So let's see, devices, you can see here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. You can have here. And if I go back to the user level, and then you can see under here. So the similar ways that these devices, some were managed, some were, unmanaged. Like some of the apps I was using for the management, some were I was using just for the devices. So, but let me go back to here into the users, and let me show you a little bit more. Under the users, like again, let me search this Zahid here. And you have here, so it can tells you a little bit more about, when I sign on, that kind of reporting there, the audit there, the devices, as your AD joined, mobile device management here. If you look at the Microsoft Intune, is it compliant? When it was registered, the time, activity. And the other thing you can also look at that is like the sign-in settings there. So let me double click on this one. Okay, so you see that here. And if I go further and show you a little bit on the sign-on side, what happened, like all the attempts, you can look more like status, if it was available or no. Like when I signed in, it was a success or no. So here when you're managing the entire device, then you have much more kind of functionality available, like what you want to do when you are managing those devices, right? So let's see. So you can do wipe here. You can see that. You can do remote lock. So all of those functionalities are available so you can decide whether you want to wipe out the device completely. So this will give you a little bit more understanding, like for the whenever you're doing the full device management, then you have to go through the enrollment process. Apple is a little bit different, Android is different, but then you have the more flexibility, and you can wipe out the entire device. So let's talk about Windows Autopilot, how it can help the users in a very less time to be productive and work from home securely. So they can get the device directly from the manufacturer. So device can be shipped to the users at their home, and everything can be configured at Intune level by the IT administrator. and they can configure the profile of the users, any apps they need, like security level, and it helps them in standardization and consistency as part of that. So if you see here on the right-hand side, you have the endpoint manager Intune, and here is the customer, and at the bottom is the employee. So when the employee gets the device, then he opens it up, and then he can sign on with the credentials provided with, and once they sign on with based on the internet speed, whatever they have, maybe 10, 15, or 20 minutes, they will be able to download all of their profiles, apps there. And the same thing if the users are leaving and they need another device, this device can be remotely wiped out and reset, and it will be there to start again. So we call it like a zero touch deployment. It's helping a lot during this time. So with that, I will share with you now the resource slide here that you can get more information if you're interested, like IT checklist for security for remote workplace, and learn about the Microsoft Business Premium. I hope it was helpful, and thanks so much for your time.